Alright, we got this little laker here. The Lake Superior rock. Not really, not sure if it's a laker or not. I don't see any pattern on it, but it's got the colors on it. Very light pattern, very light agate, but it's in there. I like it. Alright, this is a rock from Lake Superior. Pretty cool looking. Got a little bit of stuff going on the outside, a little eye or two. Some pattern. And the inside does not disappoint. That's got some eyes, a little laker pattern in there, inside some floating inside some quartz. I mean, that is pretty cool. I like it. Almost got a face right there, I guess. That is pretty cool though. I like that rock. Hopefully that polish is nice. Alright, this one is the Bahia. A lot of eyes on the outside. Not a lot of crazy looking pattern though. But the inside's not bad. It's just a little light. But yeah, I like it. Not a bad rock. Alright, this was a piece of chert I found. It looked like everywhere I could see it had pattern on it, but it was covered in this white. The whole thing was white, but I could see light pattern underneath it. So I wanted to take that white off and see if there was any other pattern underneath it. And what do y'all think? They had pattern underneath there? Well, guess what? Right now, J and V is jumping up and down. Jeff will like this rock, for sure. Look at this thing. I think it has a little pattern under the white, huh? That is crazy. I don't even know if I showed every side of it. That's how crazy this thing is. Yeah. That may be one of the coolest pieces of chert I've ever seen. And it could get better, even if this opens up a little more, it could even get better. Hopefully I won't lose none of this, but I don't think I will. But yeah, I know Jeff likes that one. Alright, this is a big chunk of a Crowley, and it was broken, but I usually can polish right over where the break is, and you really can't even hold it. You can tell, but you know it's broken, but it doesn't really show that well, that much that it's broken. And you can see right there where the break is. But I just polish right over that, and it'll get a little smoother. But that's a beauty right there. That's a cool Crowley. And it's got a lot of surface to polish, and not a lot of hole, not real holy in most spots, you know. And so it has a lot of surface to polish. It should be nice. Alright, we got a piece of honeycomb fossil here. It's still a little rough. I'm gonna give it one more. I'm gonna give it the 220 stage to go through. If it don't get any smoother than this, it's not. I'm gonna kick it out. But it's, I don't know. It's not really smooth like I'd like it to be. And this was one of the stickiest rocks I've ever found. It was just, it's real sticky for some reason. So I had to cut it open. I don't know if y'all might remember this from Start or Dud, but yeah, had to be one of the stickiest rocks I've ever had. And it's got some good stuff in it. I don't know what that is. That's got to be some kind of fossil stuff, I would imagine. That is cool. I like it. This one here, I don't know what it is. It just had too much. It had gold, red, orange, yellow, brown on the outside. And I just wanted to try and look inside of it and see. I wanted to make it solid and miss that big hole. So, and I think I did that. And look at this thing. Look at this thing. I mean, that's just a regular looking rock sometimes, And that on the inside, that is crazy. I don't know. I like it. I don't know about y'all, but that thing is crazy. And this is a little fire agate from my friend Mike in Arizona. I wanted to show y'all in the sun, but there's going to be no sun today. It don't look like it's raining again. But in the sunlight, that thing is glowing like crazy. Y'all can see a little bit of it, and like I said, there's no sun out right now at all. I think this is a Lake Michigan rock. I'm not sure where I got it from. Lost track, but it looked pretty cool on the outside, so I wanted to see what was on the inside. And pretty much the same thing. That's not a bad rock. I like it. Alright, this was a pretty cool lake. It was on Stutter Dud also, but not much on the outside, just that little pattern right there. And not a lot on the inside, but just had that fire, that flame look to it. It looked like I might have lost a little bit of that flame, huh? But it might come back. I don't know. We're gonna see. Still pretty cool though. Alright, this is a little flat Crowley. Got pattern all over it. Just wanted to see how it would polish. And it's looking pretty good so far. Pattern all the way around the sides. That is cool. That's a cool looking Crowley, my friends. Alright, I'm not even sure where I got this thing from. I know I've been having it a while. I thought I had found it at McDonald's, but after looking at it, I don't think so. This thing is an agate, and it's a crazy agate too. But you can see a little bit of the agate there, and a little bit there. But I had no idea this thing was this cool on the inside. Look at the inside of this thing. That's got a lot of agate lines in there. If I had some sunlight, it might be a little better, but I don't have that to work with today. But look at this next cut. That thing is loaded with agate lines. I don't know. The color is crazy. A lot brighter than it's looking on video. But man, that thing is cool looking rock. I do not know what it is, but it is. Hopefully it's going to polish up nice. Alright, we got a little bit of sunlight out right now. I want to see if I can show y'all this fire agate while we got time, while the sun is out. But look at the color on this thing. That is crazy. And like I said, this is only about 10% of sunlight. If it's in a bright sun, this thing's going to be crazy. I like it. Alright, this is a Crowley I found recently, and it had a little white covering some half of it, but it had a lot of pattern on it, and I figured I wanted to try it, but I ain't gonna believe the pattern that came out from under that white. This thing is nuts. Everywhere, pattern everywhere on it. That's a crazy Crowley, my friends. Like I said, everywhere you look, it's got a pattern. Glad I polished this thing. Yeah, all this was covered in white. You really couldn't see any of that. Still got the white in there, but that's where it belongs. That's a cool Crowley. Whoa, sorry about that. Alright, we got one more we're going to look at before we put these back in the tumbler and get them rolling again. This is a LSA for sure, 100%. That is a cool looking one on right there too. Hopefully that pattern goes through the inside. And what happens? There's the pattern. That's a beauty. That's going to be nice polished. That's a beauty. Alrighty, thank y'all for watching.